Okay, hello there. Hello. I hope you can hear me and see me, and we don't have any technical difficulties today. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the our now weekly became stream about the caves. Let's go through. This is basically summary video. I want to go through several things we have changed on the page, but also what we realized, we have tons of new people actually joining the D&L community. So I do have a few slides. I need to explain a couple bits and bobs about it, about dungeons and lasers. So short history, just one slide. I'm gonna go through this quickly, so don't worry about it. I won't spend much time talking about it. But then we also have to explain what exactly the D&L is. And you can help me out with it, obviously, if you have some good arguments in the comments and explaining what exactly it is. But yeah, so just quickly I want to go through some comments. I can see there's lots of comments happening here. So, well, the base pack will be from Deus Lair, be offered as add-on to D&L caves. At this stage, no, we don't plan to add anything. However, if you have a look, there is also miniatures options to buy miniatures from D&L, and that will be part of the campaign. And then with all, obviously, we'll also get bases with that set. Saying that, what we haven't showed you yet is the what exactly we have planned for miniatures, and especially bases for those miniatures in the sets which are available on the caves. So that will be soon also revealed before campaign or maybe during campaign. Yes, Derek is right. Deus Lair, in fact, as a miniatures, is a little bit far away from doing Prismacast. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that unless there is a demand, like huge demand, actually, because of we would rather focus on terrain, and we have massive amount of terrain to actually pre-paint. Although yes, you're right. In terms of bases, we could potentially do that. It's much faster, but we haven't actually been considering this one at the moment. So the question was for caves, does the euro price will be the same as the USD, like €1 equals 1 USD? Unfortunately not. We increased in the price is actually a little bit higher than it was. I mean, not the price, the number is higher because it's actually converted into USD. So you're actually gonna get less price if you, because of conversion, obviously, because of euro. So it won't be 1-to-1. I think it's 0.8 or 0.9, something like that, 1 USD at the moment. As far as I know, you can choose to use conversion from GameFound when you select your pledge, if you select your pledge in euros, or you can choose conversion from bank. I think the what GameFound is doing great is basically that, allowing these conversions to be actually quite good. Yeah. So don't worry, you're not gonna get anything crazy there. I see tons of comments, guys, tons. So I really hope that the brown paint scheme will be available on the pre-painted rocky caves. So how about two different sets? How about 3 different sets of colors? Nothing stopping us, except to my accounting will kill me and everybody else who's going to be pick and packing. But I'm strongly think that we should allow at least 2 color schemes per set. So something which will be discussed after weekend, and how we can potentially implement that one into the campaign. It doesn't cost us basically nothing except to making sure that whenever we pick and pack correct colors. Yeah. Again, we don't want to go too crazy because we don't have a system set up yet, and that's gonna have to be set up after the campaign. When I say system, I mean pick and packing system, to avoid any mispacks. Okay, let me go through some slides, because I believe the idea for this video is not only to go through a Q&As, but also because this will be on the front page. I just want to go through this one quickly. So what's the agenda today? What's the Dungeons and Lasers? Why black it now? What's new? So what's new in this campaign? This is for you this is for the backers who for the root running backers, some info. Then we're gonna go through some questions and answers, and then we're gonna go through subteams. I want to show you something interesting that we have done it for this campaign. So what's Dungeon Lasers? Started in 2019. That was our first campaign when we come up with the idea how to do it. And if you're actually gonna go on our channel, there's a video from a few years back when I actually designed for the first set of Dungeon Lasers, and how it, with no detail whatsoever, so it was proof of concept just to see how everything will assemble and how it works. But from that point onward, from 2019 was the first campaign. We actually call this one Interlocking Tiles with the Walls for both fantasy and sci-fi tabletops. That comes with the unique companions, including cats. That's actually funny, and that's true. We had some number of companions included, so and some miniatures basically included with the terrain systems. Dungeon Lasers second edition was mainly reprint of the first edition, with including of more sets for fantasy, so there was no sci-fi elements, although you could get it as well in the Pledge Manager. And we call it Plastic Tabletop Terrain with Grid, with 6-inch tall dragons. That's correct. We have introduced in 2020 first dragons to the Dungeons and Lasers universe. In 2021 we had a third hour campaign, modular dungeons and fantasy town, and lots of NPC miniatures, 5e campaign, dragons and animal companions. So we kind of combine what we had from the D&L 1 and D&L 2 into D&L 3. In fact, it was the biggest campaign value wise we had here. Well, it's different times, by the way, so it was COVID and everybody was at home. And then we have Dungeons and Lasers Encounters, which we run on GameFound, and it was basically a bunch of miniatures and with addition of the terrain, which was external terrain, so woods and such. So it was actually quite a good campaign. I think it was kind of one of those campaigns which would be used not only for the RPG systems but also for the wargaming, and I think it's being used at the moment for the wargaming systems. Later, so last year we had this Dungeon Lasers 5, which was it was pure miniatures campaign with no terrain whatsoever. And then this year we have this one, which is Dungeon Lasers, again back on a GameFound with caves. So we have a history of many campaigns and this product and being developed and actually improved over the years for the last 5 years, I would say. Well, 4 years and something. Yeah. So what's Dungeon Lasers? I do have some snapshots from first campaign because they totally, they're still the same. We haven't changed it whatsoever. So mainly features you have. We've been doing this like various teams, special rooms. So design, special rooms for your campaigns. Then we have the companions. In fact, that campaign had companions, but the other campaign actually had just the miniatures, so like encounter miniatures, right? And then obviously tons of customizable elements and props. Same go for from the D&L 2. So dungeons on the budget. So usually, and most of the cases, 24 inches by 24 inches footprint, $100. This is something you couldn't get it normally from nobody else. Only because there are reasons why we can actually do that way with such a low price. Easy to storage, and obviously this durable plastic. And then of every single campaign introduced something. So actually encounters introduced like a color plastic. So we did that with that campaign when we allow, when we manufacture some elements in different colors. That helped actually speed painting, so you could paint it quite quickly with it. Yeah. You just needed shading and that's it. Yeah. So why to back now? That's also quite important, I think, question to ask. Why to back now? First of all, stretch goals. So we planned around about 80 plus stretch goals for this campaign, and not small ones but big ones. I think it's around about between 10 and 20 sprues. So minimum retail value on MRSP manufacturing retail suggested price is around about $100 more. discount rates. Some of the sets, if you're gonna go for the higher sets, for all in sets, you're going to save around about 419 USD to MSRP. That's a good saving, I would say. Early delivery, we still have the same. We will have some legacy sets available to get through this campaign. I think they're all down the bottom in add-on section, so you'll be able to pick the previously made or sold components. And this is slide from Deusler, which really explained a lot of things about us, because as I mentioned, we can give you quite good price and quite good value only because we're actually making this stuff in-house. We have our own machines, we have injection machines, we have engineering team. Everything is made here in Poland, so it's made out of really good materials. Actually, we use medical grade materials, only because you cannot get any other materials in Europe. But you know what I'm saying, it's very good material, one of the best leading class materials. It's nothing made in China. Yeah. And that's actually quite important factor, and this is what drives the information down the bottom here, that we actually deliver the campaigns on time or even before, just because we actually made in house. So that's very important, that we have full control over and ownership over manufacturing, design and such. So whenever we need to kind of speed up, so put some hours just to the projects to make sure it's actually on time, we do that. So there is no risk of actually not having this one on time, except if something big happened, but nothing happened for the last 5 years, so I'm not expecting anything big. Yeah, so I've made this. I hope it's gonna play. Yes. Okay, so I was a little bit worried about that. We've made this video to compare other sets, and mainly just to show you the quality of the product and whether it's pre-painted or non-painted. The quality is actually, in my personal opinion, a little bit better than, well, much better than the competition. Pre-painted sets actually are even better. So let me play again. I don't know why it's not looping. Pre-painted sets are actually much better and unmatched to anything out there on the market. And so this is the reasons why I always keep saying, not from my point of view, why to back, because price to coverage is much better to competition because of quality and because of D&L system. So there is a clipping system which allows you to actually carry your stuff or move around your table. So it's no problem with that. I mean, we've been playing with Dwarven Forge, for instance. I know they have changed this one, but these tiles actually, they don't have no interlocking whatsoever, so they basically place on the table. Well, I'm very clumsy, so if I'm going to move my miniatures on that, I'll definitely move some pieces around. Same goes for the anything like you know, WizKids. Although I know WizKids got different sets which also have interlocking, so that's good. But the D&L system is actually a great feature here if we need to compare the system. So that's the reason why to back. Now let me go quickly through the questions. If you have some questions here, I will just answer them before we move on to a next section. Already won the duck dragon that we saw a while back. Yeah, there is option to get one. So we haven't talked about super stretch goals at this stage. There is nothing planned. But if the campaign is gonna be performing much better than we expected to, we're definitely going to open our wallets, like our wallets, because you're opening your wallets for our products, then I think we should give you something in return. And I believe I would like to see some super stretch goals if we're going to reach a if we overperform, if we go above our targets, internal targets. So that's for sure. And some of those things I mentioned in the previous live, that will be we're gonna pick it. We're gonna pick what we left it before, and I think that the Duck Dragon was one of the models which wasn't made because I think he lost the what's the name, competition. So yeah, but yeah, stay tuned. Campaign will be fun. It will be fun. If I'm talking too much about something, please Kick me. Okay, let's move quickly. So you have seen this one already. I've been, you know, talking about that one, but because of its summary video, I need to bring it back again. So how does the pre-painted terrain deal with the clipping points? Will there be paint missing in spots? I did mention this one. We have changed and improved our process, and there is a number of improvements we needed to incorporate it into that one. And you have the clipping points now only on the bottom of the sprue. I'm happy to show you that now. Let me just quickly change the camera. I wasn't ready for that. Okay. That's one of the examples when you have a curved wall. So as you can see here, there's no clipping points, let's call them, only in the bottom. Same here. Same for that wall over there. So it's going to be much easier to remove. You can just clip them here. Same for that one over there. Same for the tiles. Tiles only get, so you don't have no clipping points on detail at all. You're only going to get them on the flat surfaces, right? So walls as well, the same. Here, there, that one in the middle, and so on. And so on and so on. So we try to do that. In some rare occasions, like we have here, we needed to add like 2 small clipping points on the left side and the right side, exactly when the where the tiles actually getting connected. But that's not a big problem because they are very, very tiny, much smaller than we used to make them. So that is a huge improvement, which will not only speed up the way you assemble your stuff, but also it will improve the quality of the product in general. So yeah, that's the thing. Now, what else? There was some other part of the question. Any info about legacy add-ons will be available? Yes. So if you go on the page right now, you can see we have legacy add-ons sets, which only gonna be available as a pre-painted, which only gonna be available through that campaign, and only at the price. You can see it here. You can see it here. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah, and what is important is that we actually make those sets much bigger. So normally torture chamber it's much smaller. I think it's just 1 room, and then we actually decided to go with much bigger sets instead of going small one. I did have a chat with our sales team, and they said, look, it's better to go through that one instead of actually going better to get you know, make larger sets instead of going for the small one. So that's what we decided to do. You can actually get large one while that's set. So just to quickly show you, Hall of Heroes, Fantasy Core set, and the Wolverine full high walls. So all of them gonna be very similar to size to the Fantasy Core set. Okay, so that's the price you can see there, and that's how much we're gonna be selling them. They only, again, gonna be available only through the Game Found, and only on that campaign for. Yeah. Okay, so do you have a painting scheme? I don't have a painting scheme on the page. If you go on a page, on our page, you can actually see them. You can see the painting schemes. We're gonna use the original one from the artist. As you know, we have to use the artists for that process. So yeah. So again, what's new? Oh, here you have some painting schemes. What's new? Obviously those legacy sets. Then we have the RPG supplement, 1 piece missing here. So RPG supplement for 39. Now this is gonna be 100 to 200, 150 to 200 pages supplement. So not small. Not small, and you also going to get the PDF of it, so you don't have to buy the book, although I will always suggest you to get it because it will help us out and to get more copies printed and stuff. Then miniatures, there was a question about the miniatures. You can get a airship if you want, 65 for all the books, for both books. They're hardcover. I've got them over here behind me. 79 just for the stretch goal, super stretch goals from the previous campaign of miniatures, the large miniatures. So you're gonna get a that set. I think what is, yeah, I need to have a chat with them. This one super stretch goal missing here, which is this, and then miniatures. So the miniatures set, which is 389. It sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, it's 350 miniatures. A lot of miniatures. So that's what new. obviously pre-painted sets, so that's the other thing with this campaign. And just to bring the summary, pre-painted legacy sets, Caves RPG supplement 150 to 100 pages, Deus Lair miniatures, and most detailed terrain ever made. Yes, that's the important. I think this is the most detailed terrain we have ever made in this company. Most of these terrains, they consist of one sprue, I believe, and second sprue for the floors. Now these ones are much more complex and they have more design. So yeah, what's new? Oh yeah, what's new? Also miniatures, right? So something I wanted to show you is miniatures. We bumped the we increased the number of miniatures per set. So $39 you're gonna get 60 miniatures with 25 and with bases. So you don't see them here because we haven't designed them yet, but they're gonna be designed to each of the themes. So obviously spiders will have, well, the silk and steel will have the kind of spiderish, cave-ish theme to it. So you're also gonna get very nice bases with this set. So the question was about there is one question which I want to answer just in a second, why the price is a little bit higher than you would expect it with the Deus Lair compared to Deus Lair miniatures. A simple fact, it's not the miniatures campaign, and the so-called economy of scale is going to be difficult to actually hit economy of scale to reduce the price and make it this one kind of even paid off the tooling, right? So that's the reasons why the price it is what it is. I think it's still quite good price. We added more product to it, and yeah. So then again, 3 sets, 1, 2, and the third one, right? Okay, let's go through some questions. Is that 55 for Prismacast? Yes, it is for the Prismacast. So it's 55 for the Prismacast, so pre-painted terrain, yeah, that's correct. The RPG supplement will be new content or repeats from Deus Lair. 100% new content. So these miniatures you see here, there's going to be partially bestiary for these miniatures, and then you have a supplement. It's kind of going to be tiny small campaign or supplement for your main campaign, kind of missions and stuff like that. So a little bit description about the universe, but definitely you're going to find the bestiary for those all the miniatures. I will show you something in a sec. What is disgusting? I've got the renders of yeah, it's just crazy. Okay, what else we have here? Okay, the question is legacy shipping the same as rapid delivery from the previous campaign? Yeah, it is. We have to change we needed to change the name because it was creating some confusion even after so many years, still creating some confusion about the rapid delivery. People thought that rapid delivery is I'm gonna get my parcel first. So they paid $20 extra, which they only select the stuff which wasn't, they had no legacy elements in that pledges, so we needed to refund them. So this time around we just decided to actually call it differently, but it's the same stuff, it's the same idea. Yes, pre-painted, no, I've got something to show you. It is ugly, and I really like it. Right. Okay, let's go through it. Another question was how big of the planned 3 minis add-ons, which I just showed you a few seconds. So that's the final one in terms of number of miniatures. About the size of Deus Lair ones, or more like the single sprue option. So yeah, it's gonna be 3 sprues per set. So we changed that one from initially when we budget this one, the idea was that we're gonna have only 2 sprues. So all of these elements meant to be on 1 sprue, and then second sprue will be just designed for dedicated for the heroes and such, and small bits, small encounters. Now we decided to go for 3 sprues. So each of the sprue will be different. You're gonna get 1 sprue with Skeletos, 1 sprue with the other minion imps, and then the third one will be with just the boss itself. Okay, so we just increased the numbers. That's one of the reasons why we needed to increase also the price for it just a little bit. And then I just want to go through, just want to show you there is a bunch of stuff and props designed for these miniatures. So for those of you who backed a Deusler, and receive it and assembly miniatures, it's gonna be equal or maybe a little more elements and props for the miniatures. So, and I think the idea is here, and we spoke about that one within the team, that if we're going to talk about the skeletons, they need to have 5 sword arms, and then 5 shield arms, and then 5, I don't know, spear arms, and then 5 at least any other components, and then 5 separate or even 8 separate heads. Just to give you this variety of miniatures. So it's going to be exactly the same as you would find in the all sets, GW all sets. Or I think at the moment the Frost Grave is doing that, something like that. And then you have imps, obviously. So I just want to show you those concepts again. Oh, sorry, I'm showing concept, and there is text. There it is. It's gone. Right, and then we have those things which are the big bosses. So we just spent some time on actually designing them. I think you're gonna like them, and we can't go wrong with big miniatures. We have very good large miniatures, so I think you're gonna be happy about them as well. Each miniatures add-ons, that's wrong. Sorry for that. That's copy from the previous video, so that's wrong. You go with the slide I just showed you a few seconds ago. Will you only be able to get subteams for the core you get, or will be able to mix them up? Now this question keeps coming back. We did try to explain that you can pick anything. I think it's going down to as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we have lots of new, fresh, never into D&L potential customers, potential backers. So I just wanted to answer again and bring it back again. Yes, you will be able to pick anything you want. You can pick one core set and then themes, sub-themes from any other you want. So you're not bonded to one single one. I think there's one graphic which is causing this little bit of still causing this one, but this graphic will be gone. So just quickly going through this one page. One sec. Is this? So I think this is causing the problems, because you might think that if I'm gonna go for the demonic caves, I should go for, or I can only go for those things like a path. But no, that's actually no. That was the this is kind of visual eye to tell you if you want to go for this set, right? All these sets belongs to that set kind of, so they work together because the color scheme will be exactly the same with those sets, right? If you're gonna go for rocky caves, you might go for these ones and so on, so on, so on. But if you don't want to go, you can go for something else. Then yeah, you can pick and choose anything you want. And in how many painting options would be okay? Specific sets. At the moment we're offering just one painting sets, as you can see that on the page. I think we should be going for the 2 different options, and I show you those 2. I think there shouldn't be any problem with actually adding them. I need to have a chat with my team, like how we gonna manage that, but I think we should go at least for 2 teams, right? Darker one and brown one. Brown one is for 100%. The question is whether we need the darker one. So, and then I think it's a good call to actually call to action and run some competition during the campaign, and maybe we will select. Well, you will select it, or you tell us what exactly you want, and maybe we can play that way, right? Oh, my face, my ugly face. Yeah, sorry for scaring you for a second. Can you paint on top of the pre-painted terrain to personalize it a bit? Of course, yes, sure. Yeah. So that's correct. I think Mike is right here. Hi, Mike. I've seen your video. Thank you very much for reviewing. Mike is right here. I feel you need to start offering receipts that we can show on partners that matched what we told them we paid, not what we're actually paying. Yes, that's correct. The question here is the cost of the transparent plastic the same to produce? Perhaps the rocky caves could be offering the clear plastic on lava or ice caves. Actually, no, it's much more expensive. It is much more expensive. In fact, it's a material which we develop in-house, and it's a combination of two different materials. Oh, maybe I'm saying too much, or selling the company secrets. But in general, thing is that the material is made in-house. So It is expensive. It is more expensive. I think it's around about 30 to 40%. Yeah, I know, but he was right. So yes, we need a darker one. On the other one looks great, but no grass inside the case, please. Okay, on that one, yeah, sure, I'm happy to answer that one just to make sure that we so the idea for that is you're not gonna get every single tile with grass. You're gonna get only one, and this is the maximum amount of grass we plan to actually add it, because we want to give you some variety. And then every single sprue you're gonna get from caves is gonna be slightly different to any other products. We're gonna select, you know, we have to choose how we sell the product, like we did with the what's the name? We did the Wolverine, right, which is now hitting retail, and what you have there, you have only two different sprues and two different color sprues. The Warriors, I think, is different, and the reason behind that one is that we want to just keep it as close as possible to the original concept and original artist who painted. So we want to keep it like that. Some of the samples we sent out for the Pathfinder trade, which was the oh Jesus Christ, my brain doesn't work today. The Abomination Vault. So for the Abomination Vaults we send out samples. They have some like blood stains and such, and I think we should be able to do that as well for the Abomination, so give more variety of on those tiles, more colors and such. But only the one which was the kept really like only two sprues was that one, and it's part of manufacturing process, right? We need to scale it up, and in order to scale it up we need to make sure that we are able to deliver this. Now in terms of caves, that's a different story, because we will have some time to actually make them and send them to you. So I think you should have at least, in terms of floors, there's a 4 sprues of floors, I believe, so you should have 4 different. So every single one should have slightly different detail on it, maybe some just tiny, nothing crazy. Like here you can see a lot of green, just a little bit, maybe some small green here, there. Obviously the color will be changed. I mean, I showed that one before, but if you even compare them with detail, this one to that one, these stones are much more grayish comparing to the same stones on like that, the same stones on the on that sprue, and they both the same sprues. So yeah, right. So the variety will be there. We are working on that one, and we should be able to show you soon what exactly gonna get there in terms of pre-painted. Question: if we don't get the cave supplement book, will we still get the PDF for it? Yes, PDF. We are going to be giving away the PDF with all the pledges. Oh, that's like actually a good question. Matt asked the question: how easy is to make the combat arena, just the arena, not the entire sub team, bigger? I don't have most examples to show you, but you have to bear in mind this is the that is the D&L system. So, you know, I mean, I think imagination is your kind of limit, right? What you can do with it. Can you expand it? Sure. I mean, you can open this one up and use these tiles in the middle and make it even bigger. Not maybe round arena, but maybe a little bit more, I don't know, oval or similar, or literally anything what you want. Well, if we're going to be, I don't think if there is necessary to show different assembly variations. We just mentioned it's a rendered example of assembly, because you will do whatever you want to do with it. But if there is a need for that one, maybe during another live I will prepare something in CAD just to put together this set differently. Now, if you're going to add like more of these sets, obviously yes, we can do even bigger, massive arena if you want. Yeah, so the limit is basically your imagination, what you're gonna do with it. We're not, you know, we never will create a system that is not flexible enough to, you know, assemble the way you want. Right? Oh, that's the good one. There was a question coming back constantly about how durable it is, and Victoria actually recorded a video when she was scratching the with the screwdriver. Actually, if you play that one on YouTube on our channel, you can see how deep she's scraping, because of obviously the sound of the screwdriver scraping, well, going on the surface. But it's extremely robust. And I don't think there's You have to be worried about this whatsoever. What I was going to show you the picture how we packed them after they've been painted. We actually packed them in a massive box, right, one next to another one, and then the operator actually carried this box to other place and goes on the forklift, goes on the shelf and such. And when you open this box, and it actually gone through all that transportation, when you open this box and remove them, there's no scratches whatsoever. So they obviously there's a friction, and they all not scratching, but they all touching each other, but it's nothing there. So the paint is really, really robust. It's like bonded with that plastic. Strange. That's a good process though. Question: the new Caves RPG supplement. Oh yeah, the same question as before. Yes, the RPG, the PDF free. The supplement will be free as a PDF. Okay, I'm having some difficulties. Yeah, okay. So that was the question which I was going to answer. So I see the scratching details, and obviously same about the waterproof. I mean, this no, you won't be able to actually do anything. Yeah. Water won't do nothing to it. It's not water-based paint whatsoever. So. Oh, that was a good question. Do the miniatures in the new campaign get more expensive compared to those left because of the finer details, because of the increase in milling time and the mold time? No, it's just pure about the me being greedy. Yes. No, it's because of economy of scale. So if we're going to focus just on the miniatures, we can give you much better deal on the miniatures itself, because there is a number of the miniatures we're going to produce, and more we're going to produce is cheaper became to produce. That's the thing. So because of miniatures in this campaign are not the core set, and they're not the core of this campaign, they probably maybe 20% of people are going to get those miniatures, maybe a little bit less. Obviously they're going to be costing much more to manufacture. Okay, so effectively if we plan to do in the future any other miniatures campaign, you will get better deals on just the pure miniatures campaign, and vice versa. So if we're going to have ever a campaign which is just for the miniatures, and in addition to terrain will be more expensive. Oh yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly. I wanted to show you this because I just got the render. I think it's ugly, but it's beautiful in the same time, right? So ugly and beautiful. This is a render of clear plastic, and this is how it's gonna look unpainted. Now I'm gonna be testing some clear plastic painted to show you how exactly it's going to look, but all those elements, all those things which meant to be painted, which are not blood, they're gonna be fully painted. So yeah. Right, let me go from the top. Agree, the darker looks great. Yeah, it's the thing is, it's not easy to actually come up with the color scheme. It's not. I mean, we've been trying this, like, we've got Painter, which actually did a great job. Kuba Savicki did a great job on painting those elements, and really it's like we can't make up mind up about which is better, because every time when we tested some different shade of colors, it looks better and better. So it's kind of at some point we have to pick something, but believe me on that, it's not easy. And then yeah, that's the thing with the pre-painted. Oh. Where I can buy these in the UK? So Andy, this is mainly for the campaign which you're gonna be running right now. So you'll be able to buy on the campaign on a GameFound, but in the future you will find them in stores. And in general, Dungeon Lasers is being distributed now in the UK. I think if you go on the big boys, on the big pages like not Miniature Market, what I'm talking about, the Wayland Games, they do have some Dungeons and Lasers in stock. Not these ones, because these are brand new stuff. So yeah, is the paint toxic? If you are sanding it off, do you need a respirator? No, paint is not. This is a I was looking for the document, for the paperwork for that one, because I needed to send to one of the YouTubers who wants to make a video about the process itself. So he asked the question about that one. I was looking through it, It's really paint like you would use that paint in newspapers, magazines, right? The same paint. It's got, and the difference is basically it's getting hardened, not with water and air like you have like in normal paper company, but it's actually getting hardened through the UV light. So that's the difference. So it's only one additive which makes that one hardened. So once hardened, it's all good. It just became like your normal ordinary paint like you have for your miniatures. Thank you. I'm loving this. I can't wait to back it. Thank you for that. Oh, Derek answered here something. When sanding plastic up, I do always wear some mask or respiratory, however. Yeah, I mean, plastic is plastic. Plastic is everywhere, right? So imagine eating something from plastic thingy and scraping with your spoon the bottom of it. You're also gonna get some microns of plastic on the spoon. Plastic is now everywhere. But whether it's actually that, it's not resin, by the way. So if I was going to compare anything like plastic, resin is very bad. Resin, but 3D printing resin is shit bad. Normal resin is even worse. So yeah, I think we talked a long time ago about the 3D printing resin. So have a look on the back of the box what it says. Cal, sorry wife, I'm divorcing you for the best terrain. It is best terrain. It is. I mean, look, that's the one thing, but I want to show you this. Yeah. We've made those things, we've made those videos just to show you how much detail this terrain has, and it's really, if you compare to anything else we have done before in the past, it's miles away. Absolutely miles away. And I'm happy to show you not every single one, but at least 3 or 4 of those sub teams, right? Let's play it again. So good. Okay, let's go through some questions. So the question is about the spider nest. Seems to be less value plastic than the other sub teams. Will get more love added later. Enclaves or props added or make it a little bit more exciting. We haven't shown the full set yet, right? So in terms of number of elements, it's definitely you will find exactly the same. There was one suggestion today from the team to add some bits and bobs, and I think we should do that. And I think we should do that by the adding like we did here with the core sets. One second. Adding with the core set. I mean, that sprue was designed that way and it was like empty space here, so we cannot leave empty space. I wouldn't leave the empty space, so we decided to add some additional elements. So this is the value with was okay. So whenever we have some room on a sprue, we will add some bits and bobs just to fill it in. The same will happen with anything else like sub teams. I will have a chat with my team about the sub team on Monday to see on that one, specifically that one, because I've seen render today, and it's not excited. I have to admit. But there was one suggestion which I really like it from Krzysztof about adding some bits. So I think we should, yeah, we should consider this. Yes, that's the plan. So we'll be able to see the samples of pre-painted for the teams before the end of the campaign. I mean, even just one piece for each. You can see some of them already, like a small tiles, but I will see how much we can actually do it before the end of the campaign. But definitely you're gonna be seeing most of it. Yeah. Okay, so the question was, is it possible to get some sets plain and some pre-painted when selecting pledge? I don't think so. I don't think so. You either go for one or another. And if you want to have both things, you have to back for the 2 different sets. Have 2 different pledges. It is made just to make sure that we not gonna go crazy for. I mean, Derek just replied to you. That's the biggest problem with packing, and especially when you have a huge number of components. Can you have some traps in these stretch goals? Yeah, I was actually, if you're gonna go, if you check our YouTube channel for the first question and answers, I did show a tons of stretch goals concepts, and many of them were, well, some of them were traps. So we will have traps. And the 5E mechanics in the RPG supplement, that's the correct, yes. Okay, let's go for next one. Ritual site. I wanted to show you in full glory. I know we have on the page just a little bit, but as I mentioned, we haven't done such a details on the train ever. This is for the first time when you have that much on it. Really that much. So the sculptors, they spend 3 times, 4 times more time than usually we spend on terrain. So we want to make sure that this is something really, really good quality, much better than previous sets. Okay. Yes, Andy, that's the plan. That's the plan to finalize that one before the campaign ends. I know we have only 2 weeks. At the moment, the machines are finishing manufacturing the retail releases, and once this is done, we're gonna jump on straight away just to finalize the colors for you and show you how the colors looks for the sets, for each of the sets. And oh yeah, that's what is very important. Why we cannot actually finalize really all the color schemes, because in order to do so, we need to have a fully manufactured spruce, right, for the set. So the team is actually going crazy to make as many tools as possible for you to show you, and they're cutting all the elements and such. But for us to actually paint it, let me explain the process maybe. Yeah, let me explain the process. So you kind of gonna have to trust us on this. Are you going to trust us on this? I don't want to show my face again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So this is not the final color plastic. I don't like this color plastic because when you apply the color here, right, there is always a little bit of edges when sometimes the paint miss, like tiny brown spots here. So what we have to do then, we have to match the colors with the color of the main color of the sprue itself, of the painting itself. Okay, so it is kind of difficult to go anywhere different than this. Now, can we make all the tools at the same go at the same time? No, it is impossible to actually do that. We need at least 6-7 months for tooling to actually make it happen, and then create everything that way. However, I will see how many sprues we can make it, just to make sure that we can actually show you the painting. This one, for instance, is the I haven't named this one, but I think this is the one of the core sets, and this is demonic core set. So we will see how many of those sprues we're gonna be able to make during the campaign, and then obviously we will pre-paint them straight away just to show you. Okay, and then that will give you the idea what exactly other teams will look. Whether we can do 100%, no, it won't happen 100% because we won't have 100% of tools. Then we have a combat arena. I really like that set. This is something completely different to anything we have done in the past. Yeah, skulls for the skulls god, the blood god, I would say. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and on that, obviously, this is just the example of assembly. Dungeons and Lasers allows you to actually do whatever you want with it. You can combine the different sets, you can match them, whatever. You can use just the pieces of that set for your needs in the campaigns. The question in the Goblin miniatures. Oh, hold on. Let me just. Jesus Christ! I will show you something, and look at that. And you only see the my desk. Look at that. Look at that. So, literally, for those of you who backed previous campaigns and got the sets from us. I mean, I think it's clear, right, where we're going with this. Comparing to, you know, sculpting wise and everything else, right? So so let's go back to this question. The question about is the goblin miniatures for the caves only male goblins are shown in the options for female goblins as well, with the models with the multi-pose features. We have concepts for 5. I believe there's gonna be 5 on the sprue, and if you've seen them as a male, they're gonna be only male goblins. I don't know if this is I will have a chat with the team, see maybe we can actually do it like we did with Devil's Lair when we have a mix, female models as well. Why not? Female goblins. Okay. I think a sprue of each displayed pre-painted is definitely enough to make decision tanks. We'll do that. I will do that. That's my biggest concern, because we kind of running campaign and we're showing you what we are able to do. We're showing you technology. We're showing that we can actually make it in mass production. So it's not like fake it till you make it. But it's kind of difficult to show you everything, because we really have to have those. We have to have those sprues to print them, to print on them. Otherwise, it won't work. Yeah, that's only one thing. So you really have to trust us. The question again is: the Prismacast printing really not toxic? Could I use in aquarium safely? Yeah, why not? So what makes paint toxic? The paint make toxic couple things, right? Is the PB? What's the PB? Bloody hell! Not the bloody hell! I forgot the English word for that. Sorry. In general, we base in Europe, right? So let's make this one out of the way. We base in Europe. We run our manufacturing in Europe, and we have to obey all the rules and regulations. And simply, if we want to have something LED, yeah, that's the one. LED. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. So yeah, lead makes paint toxic, and anything, you know, anything above that one you cannot get in Europe even if you want to. And why would you anyway? It's banned in Europe. Europe actually bans a lot of products, and a lot of toxic products. You still can get some resin, but it's getting tougher and tougher in terms of miniatures. For those of you who are actually making miniatures, they know very well what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's making you wouldn't be able to get anything like that one, which is toxic, to use in the manufacturing and then sell out, especially when you actually do that in Europe. It's a very short-sighted to actually do that in Europe, even if you get some material, I don't know, from China or from somewhere. But anyway, other countries don't care. Other non-European countries don't care, and they do whatever they want to do. But this is not talk about that one, so it's not discussion about that. I can do one video in the future to tell you more about manufacturing and regulations, but there is a joke in Europe that United Europe is only good at manufacturing regulations, but not on manufacturing itself. So yeah, big fan of United Europe, but not the big fan of the regulations they put in, especially the Green Deal. But okay, let's move on. Yep, thank you, Derek. All the products are pass EU safety requirements. Okay. Matthew asked the question, are there plans to have pre-painted miniatures in the future? We will flex that. Yeah, we're going to flex that tech, that's for sure. We will try. The thing is, it requires quite a lot of changes in the process. because we need to have all the gates and vents which which are fitting the cavities of the tool in the places where the paint won't be applied. If you know, no, that's simple. I think that I just explained it. So are we going to do it? Oh yes. Are we going to try it? Oh yes. I really want to do it, but I think mainly just to flex it, just to show you it is possible. But in terms of doing this one as a full manufacturing, maybe at some point, if there is a huge demand for that. I don't know. I think the hobby is hobby and should stay hobby. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think miniatures hobby is... I'm still providing you miniatures and sprues, so you still have to cut them, still have to assemble them. Maybe. We will see. We will see. Definitely, we will try to push this technology to the limits. So that's the mouth of the abyss. That's the one I really, really like. And as I said, this detail is completely crazy and something we have. Well, we have invested a lot of time into this and design and sculpting. So I think you can tell. Okay, so what else? Any more questions here? Yep. And the sculpt is on another level to any terrain they've done before. I agree. Yeah. Pre-painted bases, that's easy. That is easy. But would it be then need for that? Maybe. Any chance for Velichka gnomes? Yeah, sounds cool. Sounds cool. I don't think in the strategicals we have any miniatures. I think only props. But maybe once we go back to the making miniatures campaigns. This will be my Nurgle terrain for Age of Sigma. Yeah, actually works with it. It works. Well, that's Nurgle, right? So I would say that's Khorne. Where's the Khorne one? This one? That would be the Khorne one, right? Lots of skulls there. Bones. They are dwarves in the strategicals. Oh yeah, Jakub just said you're gonna have some miniatures there as a dwarves. I think that it made even like a dwarf king sitting on a throne or something like this. I've seen it. Okay, I think this is that's the one, Evil Eye. Is there any shame in admitting defeat on the trading of my unpainted dungeons room set since I can't get Prismacast ones? No, it's not. I know this is the kind of success of Dungeons and Lasers, the previous campaigns. You know how much stuff you get from us, right? I mean, this is crazy deals. We're offering really crazy deals. But then I remember Shimon keeps saying to me, look, people don't know how much they're getting. They keep complaining this too much for them. And so, I mean, what we can do about it? I mean, it's a terrain. You need to actually provide a lot, right? And then, you know, some of the people get overwhelmed with the amount of stuff they need to paint it. So this time around, this was the good call to actually move this technology into pre-painting sets. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't have much time for the hobby anymore. I mean, just a little bit, but yeah. Okay, I think we should be wrapping up now. It's been an hour, which is great. If you have some more questions, please come in. Please them come in or whatever. My English is just going out of the window at the moment. My brain stopped working. Okay, there's more question. Are the caves ones compatible with your old line of terrain? Of course, yes. Every single one, every single terrain you can see here works with the same. Works in the same system. So it's the tiling system, it's the clipping system and such. So yeah, You can combine with the previous systems. I also just received my Deus Ledger's wall. It is incredible. It is the thing that convinced me to support caves. Thanks. Thank you. I mean, Deus Le was also huge campaign, right? Shit, well, a lot of models. It was. I mean that campaign. I'll tell you one story about this Deus Le campaign, because it was thrown at our team just to get them some proper challenges, right? They were bored. They were really bored, and I'm talking about the engineering team here and the team who actually cuts models. And then also on top of that, we needed to work out the process for multi-poses miniatures, because that wasn't here. So there's no better way of actually training your team to just throw them at the deep water and, you know, see them learning how to swim. Please remember to add VAT and shipping information before the start of the campaign. Oh yes, that's the good call. The shipping will be on Monday. We are finalizing the shipping this weekend. Unfortunately, one of the reasons why we needed to wait a little bit longer to start the campaign is that. And VAT, everything you see in the page is no VAT. VAT will be added on checkout. So once you click and select your pledge, the VAT amount will be there. Again, couple things which we did, which I missed in this presentation, is the stretch goals, not stretch goals, stretch pay. This is something we haven't done before, and we really hope it's going to work. There was one question which I missed in this presentation. The question was, I think it's on the page. I think we can move on to the page just quickly, just to see the questions there. My voice is going, so I should use next time Shimon to help me. Okay. Once the campaign starts, what's the last day of the crowdfund? I think the last day will be the... What's the last day of the crowdfund? I think the question is the... I think we plan to run for 15 days, the campaign. So if this is the question, I'll provide a proper answer. What's the speculative delivery time frame? So normally we say it's going to be about 12 to 13 months, but in most of the cases you can, especially for the train now with the capacity of our manufacturing, it should be much faster. I would say something between 8 to 9 months. Yeah. Oh, we have answer here. We'd love to see some water features on the caves, a river, pools, waterfall. Actually, why not to paint a little bit of blue on it? I see the add-on for additional subteams, but not see the add-on for additional core sets. So no, I mean there is no point of adding additional core set because it will be valued at 99. So then you can actually go for the 99 pledge, the first pledge from the top, from the beginning, and get extra stretch goal sets. I understand to get the stretch goals I have to back 99 level. However, do I have back exactly Surveyor Pledge or higher, of course? So I can just make a hand-pick pledge with 3 mix add-ons. Actually, this is just related to pledges and should stay with pledges. You have to go for the pledge. Why? It is structured that the financially is actually structured that way. So we, you know, not showing you how the sausage is made. We have to get a cost of manufacturing for tooling, everything else for the stretch goals kind of hidden in this price set. So if you're gonna go just assemble something else which is not part of the core set, it is no, yeah, it's not the best. Actually, no, because you get much bigger discounts on the miniature sets. That's what it is. And you don't know how much stuff we're gonna be unlocking, and you don't know how much stuff unlocking, for instance, like a super stretch goals, could be assigned to each of the sets. Yeah. But the factor pledge unpainted painted. Right. There's lots of questions here. I need to get my team to answer them and help us out with because I can see there's so many questions came today here on the page. So yeah. Okie dokie. I think Shimon was actually on that. Okay, Shimon was actually answering questions today's on the page. Okay, so just quickly going through the page. Whoa. Let's go to the project. There's video will be changed a little bit, need updating, some corrections and stuff like that. You probably have seen this video, if not you can actually go and watch it. Here somewhere it's gonna be Q&A, this Q&A page, you know, this was confusing and it's still confusing, but we try to figure it out whether to keep this one or not. I think not. That is, I showed you and explained the reason why. We're gonna be increasing this this section a little bit because I think why it is awesome as a more perks into this. Yeah. And then we have teams. Now, one thing I want to show you, and I'm gonna be wrapping up. Oh, there is. So we have renders. Yeah, I think there's kind of missed opportunity with a couple of this bits and bobs. So we need to see how we can improve it a little bit. We have some idea about this section here, and I think I will see how much tooling it will all consist and whether we can actually add some more elements to it. Okay, but you get more flows with this system, by the way. So with this subteam, there's more flows. It needs to be because 4 and 4 for walls, for short walls. 8. Wait a second. What? There's something wrong here. Okay. Ignore this for now. Ignore it, please. It's impossible to have the same amount of walls and floors and call it 5 sprues and then here call it 5 sprues and 28 elements only in total. I will check that. That must be something something off. Something is off. Okay. Deep Minds. Here we go. We have rendered. Thank you very much for that. That was in there on the page. I haven't showed you because of, well, it's on the page now, so you see that. I like that set as well. And now we'll be showing the render. Here we have only one, no render, but you'll be able to see render. And that things you have seen it. What else then? That I showed you. Prismacast. Hey Mike, your comment here. It's gonna be video. We have to add some video as well. So yeah, that's on the page. If you have some questions, I'm happy to answer them. How about the spiderweb wall? We had that one in the previous one. I think we should have something extra there, and I'm gonna be working on that one with the team. Yeah, it has to be pledged. Yes, that's correct. That information is already on page. Jakub just clarified that one. Please don't deliver caves too fast. We are still be painting those, like just get pre-painted. So we could get by Christmas, I think. Yes, looking at well, what's the it's March now. Potentially the miniatures one was actually, if you just to give you some idea about the tooling, it's much faster to cut the tooling for tiles, and as you can see on the page here, we have majority of stuff already done, designed and ready to go into tooling, and it is going into tooling. The only thing which is required to be a now scope is going to be all the stretch goals we're going to be creating and adding, and a bunch of miniatures we have down the bottom. So that will be the sculpting portion of this project, but everything else is basically going into the tooling. So yeah. So this is that's a good question. If you use stretch pay, do we have to make the first installment right away, or only at the end of the campaign, so we can modify the pledge level throughout the campaign? I believe I'm totally guessing now, so you can see my face that I'm guessing. But what I'm doing right now for you, I'm going on the game found. I'm just gonna click any other campaign on the game found. Let's have a look. Let's have a look together. So I'm on, I don't know how this works, maybe I'll clarify that one, but I believe if we if you select the reward and if you select like confirm, and then if you click that, oh sorry, I'm not logging here. I might not be able to do that. Okay, I won't be able to do that because I'm not logging here. So in general, if you click on there, if you go there, it will shows you the list of payments and where the first installment will be out of other installments. I don't think it's gonna be straight away during the campaign. It should be just after the campaign, so you should be able to modify the way you want. So for the regular stretch goals, what's the estimated sprue count? 10 or 15? I think between 10 and 15. That's correct. It is between 10 and 15. And you know what? Let me just do something for you. What I can do. Let me just do and show you the because I haven't prepared for this campaign for this live, but I could potentially do this like that. Do the full screen presentation. Change my screen now. Look, I know the tech. So let's go through that. Let's go quickly through that. I still got a few minutes. I hope you also have a few minutes before my voice is gone and my brain farts. Right, traps, miniatures, trucks, more trucks, some more other elements, some cards. That's the, I think that's gonna be miner set, right? So the cards, some picks, some hammers, boxes, I mean tons of stuff, some golden bars, ramps, a more, I don't know what's that. That looks like a sarcophagus, right? But yeah, candles and spiky bits and more spiky bits and with the thingy, the torches, right? And more miniatures and archers. So that was the question. And the one of the bigger thing for the stretch goals, one of the thing about the stretch goals is that, yeah, I put the value here 200 to 300 euro. That's more correct because I forgot about the miniatures itself. But one thing about the stretch goals and what we wanted to do is to have elements which gonna be much more, adding more 3D. So we come up with this. I mean, not me, Marcin come up with that. So that's great stuff. Camp stuff, the camp bits. What else we have there? Some banners. That's some traps, right? More traps. I would say some hidden, I don't know what's that, storages, right? Barrels, different sets of barrels. Again, different sets of lighting elements and or some chests, right? Here we have also mushrooms. I think we have several different ideas for the mushrooms, and you have something you can place just like on a flat surface on the tiles, or something which grown out of the walls, right? So you may classify those things as entrances to the those elements, yeah. And overgrown rocks, whatever it means. We have a gate, so we have functional gates. You can open, close them, and such. So they fully work. Again, more mushroom thingies. more traps, more bridges, so connecting bridge between the at least 2 tiles distance. Again, ramps to give you some 3D, more traps, more pits, more bridges, even wooden bridges like that. So the gates elements and some dwarf thingies. Some different traps of, you know, crossbow, cannon and such. So yeah, even a dragon, more traps, and we have more mushroom thingies, and then more mushroom thingies, right? Some spiky bits, and again traps, and also some trappy, smelly candle straps. Yeah. So there is a plenty of ideas and plenty things to unlock. So yeah, that should be roundabout a good number of a spruce for you. Okay, mushroom mimic. Why not? Why not? If you see chest, there should be mimicked with it. No, the mimic. Okay. Holy moly, Archon, you always manage to exceed yourself. Yep. That's the goal here. Who votes for the super stretch goal for the ridiculously large underground worm? Good idea. The traps are cool addition. Yes, and also, as we mentioned, this RPG supplement should have something about it, and definitely should have a how they work and some rules. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be finishing for today. I'm gonna be finishing for today. I want to say thank you for joining me. I'm gonna see you on Tuesday. Tuesday is a lunch party, so join me then. I'm gonna be mainly answering questions from I'm gonna be with Shimon, I think. So I need some help. Basically, I need some help. I'm getting old and my brain just doesn't work anymore as used to. So I need some help, at least with comments and yeah, and such. So yeah, let's do that. And thank you again for joining. Thank you for listening to my and watching my ugly face. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye bye.